Hello everyone. Today I'm going to teach you on how to sharpen knives, swords, axes, any bladed or, well, steel weapon for merely $11 or $12. For a mere $8.55. Yep, for $8.55 I can promise you a lifetime guarantee of sharp swords, knives, axes, you name it. It will do it all. Now you're probably wondering, what could this be that's only $8 that can last a lifetime, that can sharpen everything I've ever wanted? Well, allow me to introduce you to the AccuSharp. One of the most simplest ways I've ever seen of sharpening anything. And, well, I recently got a Dark Sword Armory 15th century arming sword-ish, kind of hand and a half sword. And I'm going to show you how I sharpen my swords, or anything really. It works for anything. What you will need is, obviously, $8 to buy the AccuSharp. Something to hold your thing. You can do it by hand if you want, just or whatever. A glove for safety so you don't cut yourself. The item you are sharpening, and testing paper to see if it is sharp or not. Now, before I begin, I'd like to show you how many things I have sharpened with the AccuSharp. And believe it or not, two little things in here have lasted me for many swords, many knives, many things. And it's still going strong. And if you're worried that, oh no, they'll run out, for like $4, or no, it was like $2, you can buy two more, which are easily put back in by just removing two screws and then placing them into the AccuSharp. Now these are supposed to last you a lifetime, and I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a polearm, 10 swords. About 9 swords and a polearm. And a whole bunch of knives. And most of the swords are dual-sided, and it's lasted me for an extremely long time, and it's still going. I've done probably 100 feet of blades to sharpen, and it's still going strong. So, without further ado, I will show you how many swords I've sharpened, how many knives I've sharpened, and then we can get on with the video of how to sharpen stuff. Alright, now you've seen all the swords and stuff that I've done. I did not include my polearm in that one. The polearm, although it is very cool, it's very hard to get in the shot. It's really big. But I will also show I've done many different knives, like yay, and all sorts of other ones. It works for basically anything that can fit into this. So, let's begin. First, what you'll need to do is, obviously, safety is first. You have to be careful. If you're sharpening a blade and let's say something slips, you'll cut yourself. And hands can be easily cut, fingers can be cut off, nerves can be cut, and it is extremely dangerous. So I always recommend using a pair of gloves. It's not necessary due to the fact that there is a guard there, but accidents do happen. And I highly recommend that you be careful. Now, here we are with the arming sword that I originally got. It is completely dull. Completely dull. Like, nothing. It is, like, you could see the reflection of the light. Like, if I pull out a piece of paper, it's not going to cut anything. Like, they can stab. Or barely. But, see, it's completely dull. So I just want to show this. Can't even cut into the paper. Watch the difference later on. So what you're going to want to do is carefully put it into something you're going to hold it with. You can just, like I said, put it down and just do this. But I don't recommend it for big bladed weapons like swords. Now, make sure it's secure, wiggle it around, make sure nothing is wrong. I'm going to move it over a little bit so you see the entire blade of the sword. Because I'm going to be using my right, I'm going to carefully wiggle it back over this way. You can easily switch to your left and right if you're using a holder or something like that. What you do, carefully place your thing, and wherever you want to start, just go for it. What I'm going to do is what I like to do is I like to take maybe a hand and start from there. So I'm going to start here. Carefully hold it. Do the entire edge, the entire blade. Carefully do this, and this is it. This is all you have to do. Now what I like to do 40 on the entire sword, and then another 20 maybe where the balancing point, where the least vibrating point is. To do that, I'll show you later on how to do a sword. But for now, let's just do the entire blade. And second thought, I'm already at 20. I still got another 20 to go. I think I'm just gonna stop the video here, and when I get down to the last 5, I'll come back. So I've done it 40 times, and it's still not exactly done. It's still not sharp, but you can see there is a line now. So it is getting there, but it does take time. This does wear down the hands, so I recommend switching your hands. You can move the thing around and continuously keep going. For now, I'm going to take maybe a little bit of a break, a 2-minute break, just to let my arms relax a little bit, then I'll continue going at it. Now I'm at 100 strokes. It's going to take me a while to get this because it was basically completely dull, but look at it now. It has a nice line that goes all the way down the blade. Very nice. It is coming along very nicely. Although I had to keep my arm a break because it is a lot of work. It is easy, but look at me. I'm like a toothpick, so I can't exactly do this for long. But anyway, I will continue. Once I get this sharp enough that it starts cutting into paper, I will continue it from there. $140. Woo! Well, it's an improvement. Look at that. Alright, hold on. Careful. Well, it's definitely gotten sharper. Ooh, come on. But it still needs some work. I'm at 140 right now. We're getting there. You just gotta keep working at it. No, wait, hold on. am now at 180. As you can see, this was the previous one right here. Let's see if it does any better now. Oh yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. It is getting better. It's definitely getting better. I'm thinking 260 and it will be good. I'm going to leave the other side completely dull for the reasons that I can show maybe the difference. And we'll maybe see some blunt force going. Back on you go. Oh my goodness. Great butts. It still does its job pretty damn well. There we go. Alright. Been doing this for quite a bit now. It's starting to get rough because the blade is starting to bite into the thing. Well, let's test it out and see how it is. Let me grab a new piece of paper. Much better. Much better indeed. Alright, I think that could do the first half. Okay, you see it here? Right here? This is where it's not vibrating as much, as you can see. And see, this is where the fulcrum is. I think it's called a fulcrum. Basically, that is where the blade doesn't wiggle as much. That's where you want to strike it with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sharpen it from here upwards. How pretty cool is that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the blade to here. Hold on. Let me just... Oh, careful. That's what it is. So I'm going to bring it to here. There we go. Okay, good. So, now what I'm going to do, I got my tissue paper so I don't mark it. I'm going to do from the halfway point and on. So, here we go. I like to do this 20 times, but you can do whatever you want. I may do it 35 to 40. 3, 4, 5, 39, 40. Holy macaroni. Alright. Let's test it out. See how it is. Wow. Careful. Don't cut myself. Much better. I'm not very good with the paper. Much better. It could use a bit more sharpening, a bit more of a touch-up. Yeah, could use a bit more, but I think that you get the point. Now, this is completely up to you. You can take some sandpaper and sand other parts down of it to make it even sharper. This is basically just gives it a good idea and a good edge, but you can still make it sharper. It's completely up to you if you want to use sandpaper or whetstones or whatever you want to do. Even one of those big metal grinders or whatever. Imagine it like sandpaper, and you go from 50 grit to 100 grit to 500 grit, you know, in order to sand down wood. Imagine this like 50 grit. It's still sharp. It'll still do the job, but it can be sharper. For $8, this is an amazing way of sharpening knives, tools, swords, you name it. Anything bladed, this will do it. In total, this took me 15-20 minutes. I went from a completely dull blade to sharp. So it is completely up to you. Hold on, let me just... Yeah, that one ripped at the end. The end needs a bit more done. I'm going to work on this a little bit more. I'm then going to use some sandpaper to sand out the buffs. And probably by tomorrow or the next day, I'll have a video out for this. And then I'll have a review for this sword. You saw all my other swords. I'm going to be doing reviews of them too. I have done Ronin Katana's Longsword European Prototype 8. I haven't done one on the katana, the review. I have used it. I may do one on a halberd and all my other swords. There's much stuff to be done. I am recently working on a falcata video I got from Windless Steelcraft. There are videos on the way. But till then, this is how you can sharpen a sword for a mere $8.55. And if you're afraid that, it does have a lifetime warranty, but if you're afraid that it won't last you, you can always buy one on Amazon. You can buy both of these on Amazon for about $10 to $12. And it's lasted me a long time. It did this sword perfectly fine. It still needs a bit more work. I still need to file it just a little bit more. But it works extremely well. Anyway, this is Nightshade signing off. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, just one more heads up. You may want to put a newspaper underneath, due to the fact that it does leave a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff. I'm going to vacuum this up and everything, but anyway, this has been the AccuSharp. An amazing tool. I highly recommend it. You can basically store it anywhere. It'll do its job.